Welcome. We are live. How's everybody doing? The club is open. Let the people just, mosey on in. King Diamond Eye's already drinking, some fresh. What was that? Spring water?
Yeah. For
Yeah,
branding purposes, I got to block it
can't
out.
show that. We're not sponsored by no one.
Yeah,
Can't show
no,
that.
I ain't trying to get fined.
Yeah. But you always need to hydrate. You know
Gotta
what I'm
stay
saying?
hydrated.
Yes, you do. You gotta stay hydrated. If this was Forever Rich podcast, we might hit that Liquid IV sponsorship plug.
Hmm.
Liquid IV. Well, I can't remember what we used to say there. What was that? Liquid IV is like the number one hydrating brand.
Hey, we used to throw that out there every
Yeah,
chance we got.
yeah, it was good. But how's your week, man? How's things going for you?
Week's pretty good. Can't complain. Going through the motions. Week's fine. It's always it's it's already October. In my head, it's already October. So
Yeah,
just doing what I got to do to excuse me, to survive the last 2 months, 3 months we got left. So
2025 flew by. When I tell you, like, I blinked and it was spring, and then I blinked and it was summer, and then I blinked and now it's fall, autumn, whatever you want to call it. Um, yeah, it's wild, man.
is it starting to get chilly up there?
Today was 80 degrees actually, so
Mm.
it's hit or miss.
Well, I
Like
ain't here.
the the north is weird. Like generally around this time, it's starting to get chilly. You'll get the like 60s degrees on average. I say it hits like low 70s, but it should be trickling down to the 60s. But we had a random 80-degree day today, so you
I
just
like it
never
when
know.
it's. I like the only thing I like about fall is like you could like fall air smell and taste different than every other time of the year. Like I got the fireplaces burning and stuff like that, so you kind of got that what is it mesquite in the air, and then the leaves, and then all the rain and stuff. So it's like it's like football season type air is what I call it. It's like nothing beats it.
Yeah, yeah. Tomorrow's gonna be 78. Sunday once again 78.
So yeah, we still in high 90s. Almost
Yeah, no.
triples out here.
I mean, we don't even get 90s in July. Like it's a rare occasion for it to be 90 degrees.
In
So
in the where you're staying at, or in just in New York, like
this
New York City?
vicinity of the United
Okay.
States. Yeah. Like I mean, y'all know I'm from Pittsburgh. It doesn't get you could probably count the 90-degree days in the summer on one hand. Yeah.
Oh,
Mid 80s. Yeah, it's not like Florida or anything
I think
close.
out here you can count the least amount of 90 days on your hands. Like what I'm saying. But
It'd be hot, man. I I miss Florida a little bit because man, like it's probably still 80, 90 degrees there. You could probably still go to the beach and stuff like this. Was the best time to be in Florida because the tourists are gone. All the tourism is over, but it's still extremely warm. Usually, it may be like mid 80s, like maybe some high 80s. So like these were the best days to go to the beach because it's just the locals. Locals was chill. So I miss it. I miss it sometimes.
yeah, nothing beats living down in the southern part of the U.S. It's just like vacation time all year round.
Yeah, yeah,
But when it gets cold, it get cold. Like like when you be having like them little cold fronts that come through, and it drops down to like 50, 60. You be like, oh, what the fuck? I ain't used to this shit. Like,
yeah.
it's like, ugh.
It is. It does get very cold when it's cold down there. Like
I
when
was
it
telling,
snowed earlier in the year.
yeah, I was telling someone about how it was like. Oh, I was telling one of my boss. I had a meeting with him a couple of days ago, and I was telling him how about in Afghanistan, it was talking about heat, how it's been hot or whatever, and I was like, oh, this is nothing. I was like, in Afghanistan, it was like 126. I was like, literally thought the devil was like literally walking with you every day. I was like, but then I was like, we worked. I only got that for like a good like maybe 5, 6 hours, 7 maybe, depending on how long I was at the gym. I was like, but at night I worked we worked graveyard shifts, midnight shifts, and I was like, people used to make fun of me because they used to see pictures of me, and I'd be in a beanie, I'd be in a fleece jacket. I was like, yo,
It
look,
got cold at night.
yeah. And I was like, from going 126 degrees to like 70s, you wouldn't think 70 degrees is that cold until you actually that huge dramatic change, and then you're like, no, it's cold as heck,
Yeah,
So
it'd be cold, man. Those last few months we were there, come with the Gore-Tex jacket with the beanie and the pants. It'd be cold. We had to
I
have
remember
a
like half the people
little
on our
turtleneck.
teams, they mailed back all their cold weather gear, and then they had to wait for it to come back in because they was like, oh no, I need it.
New move.
No,
New move. We needed it. And when we ended up getting stuck an extra like two and a
month
half
and a
weeks,
half.
so we
Yeah,
were in there till like no, we almost came back with Thanksgiving. So yeah,
yeah.
it was cold.
I want to say it was like November 10th, November 11th. I think it was like something
Yeah.
like that.
So it was definitely cold, man. But it was a good week for me. I had an amazing comeback victory this week in fantasy football, man. It was so clutch. Clutched it out literally late night Monday night football. Let me hold on.
So my question to you is, are you are you finally full form fantasy football fanatic? Like, were you refreshing your
Yeah.
no,
But I was excited that I thought I was gonna lose. I did.
or did you just go to sleep and be like, whatever happens, happens, and then
Yeah,
woke up and was like, let's go?
that's exactly what it was. Because he had who played on Monday night? Um Ravens, right?
No, it was I'm drawing a blank.
Um yeah, it was Ravens Lions, right?
Was it last week? You know what? I'm thinking of Thursday. My bad. Yeah, you're right. It was
Yeah.
Baltimore,
And
Detroit.
so he had a couple players for Monday night. And then I had the Lions. I had two Lions receivers. And I don't know if you watched the game, but um the receiver that I had a crazy game. And he ended up scoring
St. Brown.
yeah.
Oh.
And he ended up scoring like 27 points, something like that. And then he had the Lions defense. So he
Ooh.
lost points. So he got like -8 or 9, something like that. And this because of that, I won. Oh man. So now I'm not gonna lie.
How much you win by?
Let's see. Not much. Let me go back and look. I won 112 to 103.
I'll take that dub any day of the week. I've I've had some heartbreaks though. I remember I've lost one time.
Oh,
Like,
he had Ravens defense. Sorry. So yeah, Ravens defense got -6. Hold on, because I'm pulling it up. This is the stat.
oh,
So yeah, St. Brown got me 20 points, and then he had a Lions running back, Jay Williams, but he only scored 6 points. So he immediately canceled that out with the -6 from the Ravens. So it was like he had no one play. And James St. Brown, he just teed up. It got me the dub. But Herbert, I would have won easily, but I told you I picked up Caleb Williams as my backup.
he had a good game this
He
week.
had a great game. He actually scored 37 points. And my starter, I kept Herbert as my starter, and he had a horrible game, which I should have known because he was playing Denver anyways, and they're probably
Yeah,
like,
Denver's defense is rock
yeah.
solid.
And I have Denver's defense as my defense, so
Oh yeah, that wouldn't make
yeah.
sense.
So I should have dropped him because Herbert only scored 16 points.
So you started Herbert, or you?
Yeah, I started Herbert. I should have. If I would have started Caleb Williams, I actually would have blew him out.
Yeah, you never want to. That's counterproductive if you put your starting quarterback going against your starting defense.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right. So I'm
But
looking now.
at least you lesson learned. At least you came out with a dub.
Yes, I did come out with the dove. and I'm excited. Gotta update my roster for next week, but it was good, man. So I was super geeked. I woke up on Tuesday. I was like, let's go! Ah!
Your wife's waking up and like, what's going on? Don't worry about it. I want a fantasy.
Devastating news. I told you, man. Devastating. You get devastating news when you play me. We got that first week, dust off of us. We just had to figure it out. We 2-1, baby. 2-1.
Let's see how long the streak goes, because you're on a winning streak right now, aren't you?
Yeah, 2 in a row. Starting the streak. I don't consider a streak until 3 wins. So if I win today, then I'll consider myself streaking. 2 wins is like, yeah.
I can already see it now. You're gonna be coming back thinking you're a fantasy football guru. Like, oh, you need help with your fantasy league? Just let me look at it. Oh, trash. Oh, trash. Trash.
Yeah, I might change the whole podcast to just like a fantasy. People come in and I look at their teams, I analyze them, and send them all $5 per guy.
Here's something else.
But we got a good show for y'all. We're a little bit on out of topic here, but so today we're gonna cover some people that we have picked. Well, one person each, but we have picked that we feel like have a good 2635 story. We're still trying to work to get people on the live with us to talk with us. I feel like that's the most impactful thing to the community when people see that. So please share these episodes out. If you got a story, come on. We need you. Come on. We don't bite, it's free advertisement as well. And come on here, you don't know who may see this. You never know. So come on the episode. But each of us are going to give one person a little short little segment, introduce our person, talk about them, and maybe use their life to, maybe figure out where you could fit in. So stay tuned for that. King Diamond, you got anything before we get started?
Nope. Go ahead and get into it.
All right. So do you want to go first or do you want me to go first?
You can go first.
Okay. I got a good person for you. So we were talking about Afghanistan, and today I thought about something that overseas, not just in Afghanistan, but just overseas period, is really big, but isn't really big in America. People don't use it, but it's the application WhatsApp. You go overseas, if you're in Europe, if you've ever been overseas, WhatsApp is huge over there. It's like the primary means of communication. I don't think people use it much over here. I think Facebook Messenger is like the version of it, even though Facebook owns WhatsApp, which is crazy. But I feel like people in the United States tend to gravitate towards Facebook Messenger over WhatsApp. Basically the same thing. I mean, they use the same encryptions, all that type of stuff, end-to-end encryption on your messages or whatever. But the person who created WhatsApp had a pretty interesting story. So I found like a quick 8-minute video that talks about it. So I'm going to share that. So let me pull this up. Include that audio. All right. Here we go. Let's get started. Let me know if you can hear this.
Messaging app across countries with over 2 billion users worldwide. Surprisingly, all this fame was achieved without a cent spent on advertising. Jan Koum, the mastermind behind WhatsApp, was rejected by Facebook in the late 2000s when he applied for the job. Ironically, in 2014, it was Mark Zuckerberg who invited Jan for dinner and offered an opportunity for him to join the Facebook board. A few days later, Facebook announced that they were to purchase the work of a once rejected job applicant for a shocking $19.3 billion. Stick around till the end as we reveal why Jan received one of the biggest acquisition offers in the history of Silicon Valley. Who is Jan Koum and how did he become successful? Jan was born in a small village in Ukraine in 1976. He survived through a tough childhood by living off the bare minimum necessities. When he turned 16, he moved to California with his mother and grandmother. His mother packed their luggage with school supplies from Ukraine to avoid buying it in America. Unfortunately, as much as they tried, his father didn't make it to California and he passed away in 1997. To instant message my dad then would have been something Jan had always hoped. They found a small 2-bedroom apartment with the help of a social support program. Jan and his mum struggled financially, living off food stamps. Searching for a source of income, his mother took up babysitting jobs and Jan found a job at a grocery store as a cleaner. Time went on, and when his mother was diagnosed with cancer, they used her disability allowance to make ends meet. She passed away in 2000. In his teen years, he began developing a knack for programming and enrolled at the San Jose State University. With this, his career prospects improved significantly. He found jobs at Ernst & Young, Hoo, and later joined Yahoo. By this time, he was an infrastructure engineer, and with this, he dropped out of school.
Well, that's a word you haven't heard in a long time. I remember when Yahoo was like the cream of the crop for the search browsers. Everybody used to use Yahoo. Go on Yahoo. Go on.
Yeah, that was Google before.
Yeah. Now I think if you get on Yahoo, if I see someone like their homepage is set as Yahoo, I just think they're weird. wait, why do you go on the Yahoo? It's almost like Trump's fake news. I feel like Yahoo is like where they just put all the fake news.
After 10 years of employment at Yahoo, he took a year off to travel. In 2009, after leaving Yahoo, Jan, 37, and Brian, 44, were unaccepted for jobs at Twitter and Facebook. How did they end up being paid millions by Mark Zuckerberg instead of employing them on a regular 9-to-5? Jan bought an iPhone. Seeing the Apple Store, Jan and his long-term friend, Brian Acton, realized that the future was in their hands. It was the beginning of a technologically advanced tomorrow.
And we are calling it iPhone.
And they couldn't wait to hop on.
Real quick, if you really think about it, think about how many industries have been created just from the invention of the iPhone itself. Because with the invention of the iPhone, you open up the app space. And with the app space, I mean, think of all the app industry. We have Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Threads, YouTube. Man, if you could go back in time right now and hop on, like develop an app, and everybody does it now, and you can still make an app and still make a lot of money.
You wouldn't even have to. All you would have to do is just you already know. Wait, those were like out they were out for international sales for stocks. Just put everything into it. They were going to blow up.
Yeah, that's true. That too. I think I saw an interview with Shaq. I think it was Shaq, and he was in the league, and I think it was Bill Gates that came up to him, and he was trying to get Shaq. He was offering Shaq like basically a marketing deal, but at that time Shaq never, Microsoft still wasn't that big, and they offered him shares. They couldn't pay him actual money, so they just offered him shares in the company, and he turned it down. It was like that was one of the worst mistakes he ever made, because
isn't that what they did Jordan too with Nike? They offered
him shares and initially.
That's what. Go ahead. I got you.
Yeah. So you got to think when something's offered to you. Obviously you always want to take a chance, and like sit down and really look at it. But sometimes I think a lot of the culture right now is get rich quick, and you're always looking for like something that has a 20,000% return on investment, like crypto has, or something like that. But those are 1 in a million chances. You're not going to actually; those are hard to find. And I think the better way to build your wealth is through long-term investments. So if you see companies out there, of a company, an app, a startup, you get involved. You could still make a couple 100,000, couple million if the app, it don't have to get Facebook level. You don't have to get billions, but you know, a couple million do you good too.
Not
Not
even
even
just
just
that.
that.
It's
It's
like
like
what
when
we're
we're
talking about on the
on the
old
old
project. I was
I was
telling
telling
everyone that
everyone
they
that
need to
to
start looking into like
uh,
like whatever it is that they use for bathroom equipment and space and stuff like that. Because when they win, I don't know when, but when they start moving people to Mars and stuff like that, those companies are going to make a huge killing off it. And it's just like whoever is inventing the bathroom for space, or or the trash compounds for space, or something that simple,
Yeah, I can't imagine. People
just
living
sit
I'm
there
leaving
and
America.
yep.
Isn't that you're no longer leaving America? You know, I'm trying to get to the United States. I'm trying to get to Mars. It's crazy. That would be crazy.
They cooked up an idea for an app. No, it wasn't for messaging. Yes, it was called WhatsApp to project the idea of what's up.
What's up, Joey?
How you doing? The app initially was developed to show information and status of each person in the address book. Simple statuses of individuals, simple as battery low at a meeting, at the gym, on a call, and similar. With the help of a few other friends, the app was developed and incorporated in 2009 as WhatsApp Inc. The beginning was rough. Jan considered dropping the idea and finding a regular job. Brian was persuasive and often encouraged him to wait out the rough times. A few months later, Apple launched push notifications. This is when the revolution began. With push notifications enabled, users were notified when another's status changed. Unexpectedly, yet for the better, the new system encouraged a drastic change. Users began updating statuses in the form of instant messaging. It began with simple messages updated to the status. On my way, woke up late. Eventually, it was leading to a messaging app, though it was not created for that purpose. Grabbing the opportunity, Jan put out the WhatsApp 2.0 for messaging. He developed the app to run on the mobile phone number rather than username and password, mainly because users forgot the other and he was keen on getting every ingredient just right. Soon, the app was used by 250,000 individuals. Brian, seeing the app take off to new heights, joined in. He became a co-founder as he brought in $250,000. WhatsApp was gaining recognition, including Google proposing acquisition offers. In 2011, Sequoia Capital invested in WhatsApp, $8 million. They signed the agreement on the door of the North County Social Services where Jan used to queue to get food stamps. Over the next 2 years, WhatsApp was used by 200 million users.
Crazy. From getting food stamps, Q, to getting $8 million. That's one crazy turnaround.
Seeing the potential of the app, Sequoia Capital came back to add $50 million, resulting in WhatsApp being valued at $1.5 billion, and eventually leading to active users increasing to 400 million. If someone learns about our product from their friends, that's a huge endorsement. If you hear about it from the press, a commercial, it's not the same. Jan maintained 3 rules to business. One was that he would not take part in advertising. 2, the app would maintain user privacy and not keep any records of messages. And finally, the third rule, his app would provide smooth, reliable, and fault-free services. There's a handwritten note by Brian in Jan's office. It says, "No ads, no games, no gimmicks." Jan's rules led to his app to become the most famous messaging app in just a few years. And
Fun fact, when I was doing my Security Plus training, there was like a section on cybercrime, whatever, you know, just kind of like introducing, putting your foot into the water, like why security exists. And you know what, like one of the, WhatsApp is like the #1 tool to use to commit crime. Like not even just cybercrime, but actually crime, period. Because all the traffic is end-to-end encrypted and not even WhatsApp can access your messages. So like if you delete your conversation or you destroy your phone, both parties destroy your phone, that's it. You actually can't get those messages back.
Yeah, and then what is it? That Netflix series of the catfish, scammer, where he was like millions of dollars for girls he was meeting on dating sites.
I don't think I've seen that. Is that you're talking about the football player one?
No, it's I don't want to. It was like some dude. He was scamming girls, making it seem like his life was on the line, like giving them like $1,000.
And he was doing it through WhatsApp.
I'm pretty sure he was doing WhatsApp.
Yeah, WhatsApp's powerful, man.
But
He
WhatsApp,
maintained his
Go ahead.
what was the we talked about retro. Yahoo Mail African Prince. Get.
Yeah. I think really the only people that still use Yahoo are old people. Like my dad's mom. One time I was over there setting up her computer. I was like, "What's your email?" And she was like, "Something at yahoo.com." I was like, oh, goodness.
It was crazy. I had on my one of my Gmail accounts. I had used one of my old Yahoos from
As a
like
backup.
Facebook as a backup.
Yeah.
And I had to remember the password or nothing. And I had to it took me like 3 days trying to figure it out. Like having to go back like 25,000 passwords and shit like I think it's this one. Oh, this one. Damn.
Yeah. I think Google ended up buying Yahoo. Let me see. So I think it actually is like Google.
No, for work, I had to email something, and he his email address was Ymail, and I was like, "Is this supposed to be Gmail?" It was like, it's Yahoo's version of Gmail. So they're still kicking and screaming a little bit.
Yeah, I think they just bought they bought the company. I don't think they shut. No. Who bought Yahoo? Who did I buy it? So Verizon used to own Yahoo, and now it's owned by a company called Apollo Global Management.
That's probably why Verizon service has gone down just a little bit.
And Yahoo had the opportunity to buy Google at one point for $1 million.
Sick.
Yeah.
his position at the top, surpassing many rivals, including Apple's iMessage, Facebook Chat, Line, WeChat, Snapchat, and many more. WhatsApp's success often made headlines and often captured attention of the industry giants. In fact, the attention of the biggest social media platform was on WhatsApp. If you reached this far of the video, thank you. Please subscribe for more inspirational business biographies and stories. It was the year of 2014. Mark Zuckerberg proposed the acquisition of WhatsApp for $19.3 billion and provided Jan a seat in the Facebook board. Mark's offer for WhatsApp was one of the biggest offers in the history of acquisitions. Why was Facebook this interested in WhatsApp to flash an astonishing amount of money? User growth. WhatsApp was growing exponentially, 450 million users at the time of Mark's offer, and 70% of its users were active daily. Mark knew soon it would reach 1 billion users. If an acquisition was to take place, both firms would speed up on the growth chart. Having already acquired Instagram in 2012, Mark was aiming for cross-platform communications and growth. Why did Jan sell his life work to Facebook? He was looking out for the majority of his people. 19.3 billion is no joke. The co-founders agreed it was time to let go, mainly keeping in mind the massive benefits the acquisition would bring to the 50 employees of WhatsApp and the investors. During a public appearance at Stanford University, Brian said, "I had 50 employees and I had to think about them and the money they would make from this sale. I had to think about our investors and I had to think about my minority stake. I didn't have the full clout to say no if I wanted to." Today, 8 years following the acquisition, WhatsApp has maintained its position by becoming the most popular instant messaging app by having acquired 2 billion users across the globe and more than 100 billion WhatsApp messages being sent every day. Out of the 180 countries and 60 different languages WhatsApp is available in, it is the most popular messaging app in more than 100 countries. India is listed at the top as the country with the most WhatsApp users.
That's why you got
The self-made
That's
billionaire
all the
Jan
scammers.
Koum
all the hack, all the hack countries all WhatsApp. Number one country.
All the scammers are on WhatsApp. That's why.
My name is Billy. I know your name's not Billy. Quit lying to me.
Oh man, but yeah. So I thought that was a cool little tidbit. Yam, really nice story, really good. I mean, he came from dirt poor, found his way, found his way in business. He didn't give up, even when the odds seemed against him. He kept pushing. I feel like you gotta. We talk about this. You gotta be able to pivot. You gotta be able to take your lumps on the head, but keep moving. And a lot of times that stuff teaches you more stuff as you get older, as you continue through your career. It's never too late to change. It's never too late to pivot. It's never too late to make a change in your life at all. So even at 37, this man's trying to open a business, and wasn't even doing well in the beginning. But he kept going through, and now he's $20 billion paid. I'm sure obviously he didn't get the full 20 billion loan, but ended up making $20 billion off the sale of his company. And here we are today, an app that literally, if you go over Europe, I mean, when we were over in Afghanistan and like UAE, nobody used anything but everybody used WhatsApp or Facebook Messenger. Some people still iMessage just because you can do that without.
That was the only benefit of having an iPhone downrange.
Yep. Because my first deployment, I still had an Android, and I had to use. This is like 2014, so don't make fun of me, y'all. But I was calling home using Skype. You could buy the Skype minutes and stuff. Yeah, I would buy the Skype minutes, and I would call. I would internet call. The quality was good though. Quality was good.
Yeah, back when we didn't know what was. Because to be honest, I was Android all the way up until 2015, 2016, I think it was. And I was like, I was eligible for an upgrade, and I was like, because I was anti. I'm always like anti something. Like if it's super popular, I'm always anti it. So I was like, oh man, I ain't messing with the iPhone. I did that with Jordans for the longest, because I was an Air Force One guy. Because you could get so many different colors and stuff like that. I was like, man, I ain't buying no Jordans. And then I think it was like right when I turned 18-ish, because it was like the resale was crazy. And back home, staying in line to get a pair of shoes, it was damn near suicidal. Like risks of getting robbed and stuff was crazy back home. So it was like, I think I was out. I can't remember where I was. I think I was like in San Diego or something visiting my dad, and there was there was a release, and I was like, all right, let's see what's what, and I put them on, and then from that moment on, I can't even remember what pair it was. I think it was the I can't remember what colorway it was, but it was from Force. I want to say it was the white cement Force. And ever since then, those are like one of my favorite pairs to this day. So, yeah. But circling back to the topic, so I was at the Verizon store, and I was just like, I asked the lady, I was like, I was on the fence. I was like, maybe I should try it. Let's see what the hype is about. Because you can't. I hate people that just like they're far right or far left without like ever trying something. Like like you gotta at least like give it a shot to make it seem like to stay firm on why it's so this or so that. So I was like, I tested with the sales rep, and I was like, all right, I'm an Android. I was like, I've been an Android dude for like the last Android sidekick, whatever, like, but I was like, what's so great? Like, I was like, what's the greatest thing about iPhone that would make someone switch? And she was just like, she didn't help. She was like, do you like Android? And I was like, yeah. She was like, well, stick with Android then. If you like iPhone, then just go to iPhone. I was like, you ain't no damn help. So I ended up getting the 6. I think it was a 6. And then from that moment on, I was hooked. I was like, especially because I think like 4 or 5 months later, I ended up deploying, and I was just like, shoot, I had my little hot spot. I was sitting there texting, ting. It's like it was nothing. FaceTime, perfect, no issues, nothing. So ever since then, I never looked back. I will say though, some benefits of Android is still A1 because I think when I was like I think I was on like the G2, G something. Was the last Samsung phone that I got, and that's when you had dual screen, so you could be like watching. I could be like texting and watching YouTube at the same time because like back in those days, you couldn't watch YouTube on nothing. Like as soon as you exit out, it was like, nope, it's done. You couldn't do anything. So that was the only benefit. Like you could do 2 things. So I could be like watching a movie, sending a text or whatever, or doing whatever. So that was the benefit of it. But looking back, like I have like one of my work phones is a Samsung. I think it's the S20. And every time I use it, I get mad. I was like, why is this is so trash? Like I just can't deal with Samsung or Android no more.
Yeah, I got an iPhone after my second deployment when I came back. Funny enough, I had just got the Galaxy S8 at that time. It was 2017. And I took the Galaxy, I want to say I had the S6. I took the S6 with me on the deployment, something like that. And I rocked it. This is Facebook Messenger, is a little better era. So like on that deployment, I used that a lot. But I did dabble with WhatsApp. And then when I came back, I got an S8. And the next year, I was just like, you know what? Everybody I know got an iPhone. I'm the only one that can't FaceTime. I'm the only one sending green text messages. Still, you just feel like you're kind of like left out almost. And so I finally upgraded to iPhone. iPhone 8 was my first iPhone. And then I bought a 8. I rocked an 8 until I got a 12. And now I have a 15. So we'll see. I don't upgrade that often, but yeah.
Nah, I'm still holding on. They call me poor or whatever. I'm still rocking the 13 Pro Max. So I'm not giving that
no
up.
reason. I mean, and now at this point, it's the same thing every year. Like we upgraded the camera. It's 20 times more the pixels. I'm like, yeah, you said that last year. You didn't upgrade the camera. I can hope. My Monica makes the social media content, so she bought a phone to use to make that content and stuff. It's an iPhone 14 Pro, and we had taken pictures, side by side with the 14 and the 15. I couldn't tell the difference. Sometimes I think the 14 pictures actually look better than the 15. So
whatever gets the job done.
Yeah, so I think iPhone be scamming y'all. Y'all be into the Apple, the Mac hype, Apple Mac stuff. I mean, I've had all their stuff. I had the watch before, and
I got the Apple Watch 3. I think it is 3 series.
Yeah, Apple 3. I thought about getting mine because mine broke. The front little piece broke. I did. It just fell off one day. And it just shattered. And I was like, maybe I'll get it fixed. But I think they're on like the Apple Watch 10 now. So I was like, I don't even think this thing would work if I got it fixed.
I usually just use it for like when I'm doing drone jobs or whatever. I just use it for the text message capability. So it's just like, hit that. But even then, when I be like, hey Siri, it takes like 45 minutes for it to register or something. It's like, bro.
I can't take it anymore. Okay. All right. Well, you're up next. Who's your person?
Mine's kind of quick, simple. Mine's basically like, you could be working these Fortune 500 company jobs and, putting in all the legwork and, it may not, you might grind all the way up to the top and you still may not get it to the position that you want because, higher up people want to do what they want to do and their vision is more important than yours. So mine's on Jeffrey Katzenberg, I think is his name. It's a gentleman that he used to work for Disney and he went to, Katzenberg. And he's the co-owner of DreamWorks. So it's like basically a little video of how he went from working from Disney to having one of the biggest anime franchise movie series of all times. So I thought it was a good one. Hold on.
All right.
Share my screen.
Imagine being the mastermind behind some of the biggest animated movies of all time, films that made billions and revived a legendary studio. Now imagine getting fired for asking for what you're owed. That's exactly what happened to Jeffrey Katzenberg. Disney betrayed him, and he didn't just walk away. He built an empire to get even. This is the story of ambition, betrayal, and one of the greatest corporate revenge arcs in Hollywood history. Buckle up, because we're diving deep into how Jeffrey Katzenberg turned Disney's biggest mistake into his ultimate triumph, and what he's up to today. Let's set the stage. It's the 1980s and the Walt Disney Company is in trouble. Their animation division, the heart of Walt's legacy, is a shadow of its former self. Films like The Black Cauldron are bombing, and the studio's bleeding cash. Enter Jeffrey Katzenberg, a scrappy New Yorker with a knack for spotting opportunity. He's not an animator or a creative visionary in the traditional sense, but he's a dealmaker, a hustler, and a guy who gets things done. Katzenberg started in Hollywood at Paramount, working under Michael Eisner, a rising star in the industry. When Eisner was tapped as Disney's CEO in 1984, he brought Katzenberg along as chairman of Walt Disney Studios. Katzenberg's job? Fix Disney's film division, especially animation, and boy did he deliver. Under his watch, Disney launched what we now call the Disney Renaissance. The Little Mermaid in 1989 was a game changer, $235 million at the box office and a cultural phenomenon. Then came Beauty and the Beast, the first animated film nominated for Best Picture at the Oscars. Aladdin grossed over $500 million worldwide, and The Lion King in 1994 became the highest-grossing animated film ever at the time, pulling in nearly $1 billion.
Bro, like, before we get in deeper into it, those 4 or 5 movies, those most iconic childhood movies of all time. Like, girls always love Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast. Like, they did the live action ones in those, killing it. Lion King, Aladdin, like Aladdin is what put Robin Williams like megastar version, put him on the map. So it's like the shift that he helped with Disney is kind of super crazy.
Absolutely.
Katzenberg wasn't drawing these films himself, but he was the guy greenlighting projects, pushing for catchy songs, star-studded casts, and tight budgets. He slashed costs, demanded efficiency, and made Disney animation profitable again. By the early 90s, Disney's stock was soaring, theme parks were booming, and Katzenberg was seen as the architect of it all. He was the golden boy, but not everyone saw it that way. Now here's where things get messy. By 1994, Jeffrey Katzenberg wasn't just a key player. He felt he was indispensable. He'd been at Disney for a decade, turning a struggling studio into a juggernaut. But there was one problem: his boss, Michael Eisner. Eisner was a brilliant but controlling CEO, and he didn't like sharing the spotlight. Katzenberg, though, wasn't shy about taking credit. He believed he deserved a bigger role, specifically the presidency of Disney, a role held by Frank Wells, Eisner's trusted number 2. Wells was the glue that kept Disney's leadership together, balancing Eisner's ego and Katzenberg's ambition. But in April 1994, tragedy struck. Frank Wells died in a helicopter crash, leaving the presidency vacant. Katzenberg saw his chance. He'd been promised, verbally he claimed.
You know what's kind of crazy though? Is Eisner sounds just like Jerry Jones, and it sounds just like the Cowboys with Jerry Jones and Jimmy Johnson, where Jerry Jones thought he was the creator of Phyllis, he made the team because he was the GM, and Jimmy Johnson's like, nah, I'm the one that got this rolling, and I'm the one that made sure we got the players that we needed. And this isn't like, I'm telling you, we sat down together. Like, there is no championships without me. And it was like Jerry stuck in his ways. I feel like this is kind of like similar type of story.
Yeah, it's definitely giving the vibe. I feel like when you get to this level, your pride gets in the way a lot.
Mhm.
And instead of just coming together and being like, hey, we work together as a team to create this, and one person wants to be exalted and
Someone-
glorified over everybody else.
Someone has to take the crown, and there can only be one.
It's
Only
not
be
that
one.
serious.
That he'd be next in line if Wells ever left. So he went to Eisner and demanded the promotion. Bad move. Eisner was grieving Wells's death, recovering from heart surgery and facing pressure from Disney's board, including Roy E. Disney, Walt's nephew, who reportedly despised Katzenberg. Roy saw him as an outsider, too brash and self-serving for the Disney legacy. Eisner didn't just say no, he humiliated Katzenberg. He refused the promotion and by August 1994, forced Katzenberg to resign. The official story was that Katzenberg left, but let's be real. He was fired. Publicly. Painfully. Katzenberg later called it humiliating, and industry insiders said it was like a biblical exile. He'd given Disney a decade of his life, made them billions, and now he was out on the street. But here's the kicker. Katzenberg didn't just want a promotion, he also believed he was owed a cut of the profits from the films he'd overseen. He claimed a 2% royalty on projects from his tenure, potentially worth $250 million. Eisner scoffed, worried it had set a precedent for other executives to demand the same. That dispute would come back to haunt Disney, but for now, Katzenberg was gone, his pride wounded and his anger burning. Super getting fired when you're doing your best work can wake you up pretty well. Jeffrey Katzenberg. Most people would have licked their
Ain't no
wounds
way
and
he
moved
said
on,
that.
not Jeffrey
Ain't no-
Katzenberg. He
ain't
wasn't
no
just
way-
angry.
ain't no
He was
way he
determined to
said that.
prove Disney wrong,
You know they gotta add.
and he didn't waste time.
Crazy.
Within weeks of leaving
Oh,
Disney,
yeah, you got
Katzenberg teamed up with two Hollywood heavyweights, Steven Spielberg, the director behind Jaws and E.T., and David Geffen, a music mogul worth billions. Together, they founded DreamWorks SKG in October 1994 with a mission to challenge Disney's dominance. Okay, Katzenberg mortgaged nearly his entire net worth, $33 million, to join the venture.
Oh, that's
It was a massive risk, but he was all in. DreamWorks wasn't just a studio, it was Katzenberg's weapon. He took charge of animation, aiming to beat Disney at their own game. And he didn't play nice. DreamWorks' first animated film, The Prince of Egypt in 1998, was a bold statement, epic, emotional, and a direct shot at Disney's fairy tale formula. It grossed $218 million. Okay, but the real knockout punch came in 2001 with Shrek. Oh man, Shrek was a revolution. It was crude, irreverent, packed with pop culture gags and fart jokes, everything Disney wasn't. It starred Mike Myers, Eddie Murphy, and Cameron Diaz, and it grossed $484 million worldwide, beating Pixar's Monsters, Inc. that same year. Shrek won the first ever Oscar for Best Animated Feature, snatching it from Disney.
Both those movies are excellent, though. Monsters Inc. and Shrek.
Yeah, but Shrek changed the game, and the crazy part is if you pay attention to Shrek, because like they make fun of all of Disney's movies, like Pinocchio, maybe like I
Lord
think
Farquaad.
he's like in the second one he's
It's
wearing
a
the
troll. It's
thong.
a troll movie.
Cinderella and all the other princesses are like all like they all have like some disorder. Like I think the Sleeping Beauty is or like or Rapunzel is like she's mentally challenged and stuff like that. Like so it's like or dunce. So it's like they kind of Prince Charming isn't really Prince Charming. He's just like a little metro guy, type stuff like that. So it's like as a lot of people love Shrek just for that sense right there. So that's what I was saying. Like, yo, can you imagine that? Like the little jabs that they were throwing and they end up making millions of dollars while Disney's like struggling to make other shows. Like, don't get me wrong, Monsters Inc. is pretty good, but compared to Shrek, it's like it's bottom of the barrel.
True.
Disney's grasp. And let's talk about the shade. Shrek was a middle finger to Disney. The villain, Lord Farquaad, was rumored to be a caricature of Michael Eisner, short, ego-driven, and ruling a fairy tale kingdom. DreamWorks even released Shrek on video the same day Monsters Inc. hit theaters, a deliberate jab to steal sales. Katzenberg wasn't just competing, he was waging war. Then, there was Ants, in 1998, rushed out to beat Pixar's A Bug's Life to theaters by 6 weeks. Pixar's John Lasseter accused Katzenberg of stealing the idea from Disney Pixar meetings he'd attended. True or not, it showed Katzenberg's ruthlessness. DreamWorks kept swinging with hits like Madagascar, Kung Fu Panda, and How to Train Your Dragon, building a library that rivaled Disney's. By 2004, DreamWorks Animation went public, and by 2016, its films had grossed over $14 billion worldwide. Katzenberg had built a $3.8 billion empire. Oh, and that $250 million he wanted from Disney? He sued them in 1996 for breach of contract, claiming his royalties. In 1999, Disney settled out of court for an estimated $250 to $270 million. Katzenberg didn't just get even, he got paid. So, did Katzenberg's revenge work? On paper, absolutely. DreamWorks Animation became a powerhouse, and Katzenberg proved he could thrive without Disney. Shrek 2 in 2004 was the highest-grossing animated film ever at the time, outpacing The Lion King, but the victory wasn't total. Disney and Pixar fought back. After Shrek 2, DreamWorks never beat Disney at the box office again. Pixar's Finding Nemo, The Incredibles, and later Disney's Frozen and Moana reclaimed the crown. DreamWorks had hits, but also flops like Turbo and Mr. Peabody and Sherman. By the 2010s, the studio was struggling with high budgets and inconsistent returns. In 2016, Katzenberg sold DreamWorks Animation to Comcast's NBC Universal for $3.8 billion, pocketing a reported $400 million himself. He stepped down as CEO, ending his 2-decade quest to outshine Disney. Some saw it as a win. Katzenberg built and sold a studio for billions. Others saw it as defeat. Disney was still king and Katzenberg couldn't follow his creation to its next chapter. What's undeniable is that Katzenberg changed animation forever. DreamWorks brought a fresh style, edgy, modern, and unafraid to poke fun at Disney's tropes. Without Katzenberg, we might not have the diverse animated landscape we do today. So what's Jeffrey Katzenberg up to in 2025? He's not slowing down, that's for sure. After selling DreamWorks, Katzenberg pivoted to tech. In 2017, he founded Wynand Co., a venture capital firm investing in digital media and tech startups like Axios and Whistle Sports. He's betting big on the future of entertainment, focusing on how we consume content in a streaming, mobile world. His biggest swing was Quibi, a mobile streaming platform launched in 2020 with Meg Whitman, former eBay CEO. Quibi promised quick bites of premium content, 10-minute episodes for your phone. Katzenberg raised $1.8.
So I just wanted to show the Disney Pixar stuff because I know you're a big Disney person. So I know you
I do like
you
some Disney. I don't know if I like. Yeah, I think I like more Disney movies than I do like DreamWorks. I do like some DreamWorks stuff, but I like more Disney. Like Incredibles is my favorite animated movie. Like of all time.
Out of all of them?
Yes, I love Incredibles 1. Incredibles 2 is excellent. And I will see Incredibles 3 in 2027, I think it's supposed to come out.
Incredibles is cool, but I grew up on Toy Story, so Toy Story to me is always going to be the greatest animation.
I mean, the classics are good too. Toy Story, Lion King, all that stuff. But I don't know. I really like. I love The Incredibles. That was my thing. Finding Nemo was another one I really liked. I mean, DreamWorks has good. Like I like DreamWorks. Obviously, Shrek is good. I think Bad Guys DreamWorks. I think Bad Guys is.
Yeah, Bad Guys.
I love
DreamWorks.
Yeah, I love Bad Guys. We saw the second one and the first one. I think Bad Guys is excellent. So I do like some DreamWorks stuff, but I do think Disney does have a better catalog.
Yeah, but if you take away the ones that he did and you put them in his repertoire, I mean, his catalog, I mean,
Sure.
there's only a handful. So like I said, Toy Story is probably one of them. Frozen's okay. I hate Frozen just because hear let it go like 15 billion times in my house, so I can't stand that. But Moana's pretty good. I will say Moana's pretty good.
I think the first one's better than the second one.
Yeah, by far. But I feel like that with a lot of movies. I feel like the only thing is like that's what made Shrek so good because it was good. Oh well, they're coming up with a fifth one, so I don't know how good that one is. But it was like Shrek, like for the 4 movies that it had, it was like something different, and it was like it was good in its own right. Like nothing beats the first one, but it like they were pretty good from the the first one, second one, the third one, and the fourth one.
Yeah, they're good.
And then they
Also,
do the sing along at the ends of the songs where they like karaoke and stuff like that. I think that was a game changer.
yeah, Puss in Boots is really good too.
Yeah.
Especially the Last Wish. That movie is excellent. I think with DreamWorks, what reason why people like DreamWorks, and then we'll finish this. But I think the reason why adults like DreamWorks and probably a little more than Disney is because it's an all around like for everybody. Like even their kids movies have adult themes in them that adults can watch and be like, oh, like for instance, Puss in Boots 2, Last Wish. Puss is afraid of death. That's a norm. As a kid, you don't understand that concept. As an adult, you do understand that concept. Being afraid to die and stuff. So I feel like those undertones, those different layers. That's what DreamWorks is like excellent at, and that's why Shrek was so loved because Disney doesn't do that. Disney is very PG, G, really G. You know what I mean? And then they're also culturefied, which I think has hurt them over the years, because they're trying to put too much woke garbage in their movies. But they stay very G. Fairy tales with happy endings. Why DreamWorks likes to do more like more realistic, I guess, darker undertone. They're basically like Marvel and DC. DC's darker comic stories sometimes with terrible endings. And then you got Marvel, which is more upbeat and happy.
Yeah, but you also got to think of they got Kung Fu Panda. Kung Fu Panda was a good series too. And then Trolls. Trolls is pretty good.
I think Trolls is good, but it's not bad.
What stays on my house all day, every day, because Mercy loves it, is Boss Baby. I don't know if you've seen that.
Yeah,
it's on
definitely.
Netflix. It was a movie, and then they turned it into a TV
show.
series.
Yeah.
And then Madagascar's DreamWorks too.
Yeah, Madagascar. Madagascar's okay. Madagascar's is a little bit.
So
I think Disney edges them out, especially when you start comparing with the Pixar catalog. You start putting in, the Buzz Toy Stories and the continuations of like that stuff, and then it's like it's hard for them.
Toy Story is forever king. Forever king.
Except that last one, Lightyear.
Oh no! I'm talking about Toy Story, not Buzz. Buzz. That was they tried it. They tried to let's see if we can make money with just Buzz. And I was like, nah, you can't.
Oh, you gotta have Woody.
It's crazy. You be seeing like TikToks and stuff now. It's like this how you know you're getting old. And it was like someone at a Disney store, and they went to go look at the Toy Story characters, and instead of having Andy on the bottom of the foot, it was Bonnie. I was like, dang, that's how you know you old. Our childhood's just getting ripped from us every day.
No, what they're doing is recycling our childhood in these weird, like modern retellings that are always awful.
You know what I feel like is the
live
worst
actions.
The worst one.
What? Which one?
And some people would disagree with me, but it is what it is. But the Ninja Turtles, like they tried so many times to.
Like you're talking about like the newest animated one?
No, the live ones.
The live, yeah, those are always mixture. Like, I don't think the ones with Megan Fox were that bad. I don't think those were that bad. When they tried before that, those were kind of bad. I mean, the '90s ones are really bad if you like watch them again, but they're like classics though. but they're like that. They're classics, but they are really bad.
with the amount with the error, like they were like made like particular for that error. Like now it's just like rewinds. It's just like, oh, we're gonna just put some CGI here all over through the whole movie and put one famous hot chick in there, and then we're good. And it's like, nah, because if you think about the old ones, they didn't have what's her name wasn't that bad. It was like she wasn't no sexy person, but like everybody wanted it. Like that was the error for like karate and stuff like that, because you had um
Karate Kid.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, you had the Three Ninjas, you had Karate Kid. Well, Karate Kid was a little bit older,
Before,
but
it was
you know what
big.
I'm trying to say.
Power Rangers,
Yeah, see, Ivan Ooze
the
selling
Black
lean,
Ranger.
selling ooze. You know, he
Yeah.
was selling lean out of that.
Oh, man. Have you seen? This is the last one. Have you seen that like Power Rangers movie that they made with the old cast? It was from like 2022.
Oh no,
Oh man, it was really bad. It gives like a little bit of nostalgia when you watch it, because like they have like the original Black Ranger, they have the original Red Ranger. I think the guy that played the original Green Ranger, he passed away, but I think also the guy that played the original Blue Ranger passed away too. So they had as many as they could get in there. It was bad.
now what they could have done, because this franchise took off, was they could have did like a reamp to it, but made it kind of like a Cobra Kai, like, you know, way later down the road. And it's like they could have like mocked like the new whatever. I don't even know which one they're on, Space whatever Power
I
Rangers,
don't
and
know.
it's
I
like
don't know. Do they still make Power Rangers?
the old group is trying to get back to like stardom, and then like, you know, they could have did something like that. That would have been that would have been interesting and probably funny.
Yeah, that would have been. I don't think they make. I think the last. I think the last thing they tried to do was make that movie, the 2017 movie that was terrible. And I don't think they ever did anything after that. I don't think they do the live action stuff anymore.
Ain't worth it.
Mm-mm. There was a rumor in 2024 that they were doing a reboot.
Like the nostalgic version.
With just Hasbro, but also probably just like a new version. In March 2025 was announced that Hasbro would be producing a new live action Power Rangers for Disney Plus.
You know what's crazy though? Have you watched, like, now that you're a grown man, have you rewatched like the original Power Rangers?
Yeah, I've watched some episodes.
It's like their costumes was so like low budget costumes in the whole while were like styrofoam for the Green Ranger's gold vest or whatever, and it was like, yo, but as a kid, this was the greatest thing in the world.
Bro,
Like,
Power Rangers was lit. And I think what made Power Rangers cool is that like there was nothing like it at the time. Like
that's true.
these teenagers just fighting these random monsters, and like it was just really like ahead of its time. And like now they make shows that are like that, like on Netflix and stuff, like Thunder Dads and Thunder Force and stuff like that. But it was a really ahead of its time idea. So.
What Drake say? A wonderful time to be alive.
It was 90s is
clutch.
90s babies have a lot of culture.
Yeah.
But all right, y'all, that is it for us today. We got you 4 minutes over, so we'll give you 4 minutes back of your time. But we hope you guys enjoyed this episode. As we've been saying, come on the show, give us your story. You can help somebody, you can encourage somebody. There's always somebody out there who could use some encouragement, who may be looking. But everybody's got a 2635 story. We want you to tell yours. Hope you guys have a good weekend. And King Diamond and I, any last words?
Yeah. Stand for, what do you call it? The call to action. Don't be scared, man. It's not that hard. It's just conversation. That's all we asking for. Just tell us a little bit about yourself, and we'll keep the conversation going. As I always tell all our guests, like, hey, don't just keep talking. We got you. I'll pull topics. I can talk. So I can talk. So, but yeah, don't be scared. It's really just a conversation. like you would have with anybody else if you're at home or at a party or with a close friend. Only difference is it's being recorded. That's it. But as always, positive mindsets make positive outcomes. This is Club 2635. You don't got to go home, but you got to get out of here. So, deuces.
Peace out, y'all. Have a good weekend.